Okay, hey everyone. Welcome back to NatureBryan. I'm Brian, and today, for our first real episode, we're going to talk about the osprey. The osprey is a bird of prey that feeds on fish in a variety of habitats, from inland lakes to ponds to bays, estuaries, marshes, and even seashores. So as you see, you have a range of habitats from freshwater to brackish water, which is like a mix of salt and fresh, all the way to saltwater. Osprey mate for life with the same mate and return to the nest site every year. The funny thing is that they actually take separate vacations. So in the winter, one mate may go to Florida, another may go to Mexico or even South America, but then they return to the same exact nest on Long Island next summer. So that's kind of cool. And this actually makes field study a little easier because you can keep track of the same pair with relative ease over a span of years. The cool thing I found when going up to these nests at work was the variety of nest material they used. So to list a few, and I have a list here, we have sticks and reeds, that's an obvious one. Then we have live plants. Sometimes they carried up nest material that had some seeds on it. Some of the shrubby plants from the marsh would actually germinate and grow on the nest, kind of like a little garden. Then we have some man-made materials. These get fun. You have fishing poles. A lot of those. We had carpeting. They're pieces of samples of carpeting and stuff from construction. Balloon ribbon. That's kind of a bad one because I've seen dead osprey chicks hanging out of the nest by their necks from this material. So that's pretty bad. They can't really cut themselves out of that. We've had beer cases. The cardboard, other pieces of cardboard like that. We've had Dunkin' Donuts cups. We had one Eskimo pie ice cream wrapper. We've had multiple flip-flop sandals. And the funniest one I've seen is women's bathing suit bottoms. So those are just some of the things we've found being used as nest material. Let's see. Yep, and from late May to early July, you see these osprey nests across the marsh, and you'll see them with 1 to 3, and in very rare instances, 4 chicks throughout the South Shore of Long Island. Conservation efforts for the osprey started a few decades back when there were problems with the pesticide DDT. What happened was DDT was used in maybe the suburban areas and places like that, but then it entered the wetlands through runoff. So then by a process called biomagnification, a pollutant like DDT will actually increase in concentration in every level of the food chain. And as you may have noticed, osprey are at the top of the food chain in the wetlands, so of course it was in the highest concentration in them. And I think there were some problems with the fertility of the eggs, like the eggs weren't hatching because of the DDT concentrations. So one thing we do, and that I do at my job, is we do banding. So we go up to the nest and we put little metal bands with identification numbers on their leg. It doesn't inhibit their ability to fly or catch fish or anything like that. And people wonder, how can you put on a band if it's just a baby bird? But actually, the time we band them, from then to when they're fully mature, they actually don't get much bigger. Their bones are pretty much full thickness. But yeah, so we go up and band them, and it's helpful because we get an idea of where these birds go in subsequent years. Also, if a fledgling dies before it reaches the fully fledged stage, which refers to its ability to fly, we can identify it as a fledgling more easily, even if it's decomposed or whatnot. What you should be seeing about now are shots of fledglings sitting on the nest. They happen to be great subjects because they look at the phone wherever you put it, and they can also be distinguished from the adults because they have mottled, speckled coloration on the feathers, so you'll see light brown mixed with dark brown. The adults would have more of like a solid brown. So if you're first stumbling across my videos for the first time, as always, all the media you're seeing is from my camera phone, the pictures in the video. And while I would like to thank the Town of Hempstead Department of Conservation and Waterways for my great experience, I want to remind everyone that my information, ideas, and opinions expressed in the video do not officially represent those of the department. They are simply my personal experiences and what I've gathered. So yeah, that's the osprey. And hey, by the way, all the music you're hearing is Brian Brown Originals as well. I actually have a separate YouTube channel for my music. It's bbrizzy89, BBRIZZY 89. You can find it if you search Justin Timberlake mandolin, Daft Punk mandolin, Dave Matthews mandolin. For all of those, I'm in the first couple hits.